So after the Pokemon Sun and Moon trailers dropped, it feels like almost everyone immediately went back and rewatched it to try to figure out all the little hints and teasers that Game Freak was giving us. Now, not only is it a very sexy Pokemon commercial, but there's a ton of information in there that for a nice little reveal, there is a substantial amount of stuff shown for the 7th generation and the new Pokemon game, and there's a lot to analyze, but I think the biggest question started to become, where in the Pokemon world is Sun and Moon going to take place? Because everything else almost seems straightforward. Like, they're not going to give us direct information at this time, but everything that they showed us did make sense, except for that. Now, we get some location kind of things to identify with, but it was still a big question. Now, right now, it seems like the most plausible one is going to be Hawaii. And not only that, but Game Freak seems to have an affinity for Hawaii because 3 Pokemon World Championships have been held there. And this is like Worlds. This is the main event everyone ends up going to. So in 2010, 2012, and 2007, we actually had Hawaii being the home of the Pokemon Worlds. But that's no reason to just say, all right, Hawaii confirmed. There is much more in just the trailer alone. In just the little bits of the trailer that we have, we can actually almost confirm, or at least not sound crazy when we say it's going to be in Hawaii. So let's start off with all these friends that are high-fiving, fist-bumping, and looking very excited for the trade segment of the commercial where they receive a Vivillon. And it actually is a cool looking Vivillon. It has like a sun pattern and has a bluish pattern that could almost represent moon, but the only place that you can get this Vivillon is in Hawaii and somewhere around Madagascar. So out of all of the forms that this Pokemon can take on, depending on the regional location of where you find it, in this trailer, they have the one that's for Hawaii, which is already a little interesting start when you just pose the theory like, hey, this could be Hawaii, look at the Vivillon, but it goes even deeper than that. So not only is there Pokemon resemblances, but the architecture seems more like historical Hawaiian architecture. The Iolani Palace is in Honolulu, and it shares a striking resemblance to this aquarium Pokemon water type gym resort place. I don't know, we don't know the building, but we can see that's very tropical. It has a nice feel, and it feels like you're in a really breezy island just from that one little picture. A lot of water Pokemon stuff, so that's pretty neat like there. Let's keep going deeper. The strange souvenir. This is going back to Pokemon X and Y, so not even just like trying to make things from the trailer, but this actually feels that it gets closer to Hawaii. So an ornament depicting a Pokemon that is venerated as a protector in some region far from Kalos. Now, first off, people are trying to say that this is going to still relate to South Kalos, or some people are trying to think that this could represent Spain in some way, but it's far away from Kalos if they're trying to keep some kind of regional equivalent, because the Pokemon games do that. 5th generation was based off of New York, 6th generation for Kalos was based off of Paris or, France area, and now with this, it's going to be a further region, but this looks very familiar. Familiar like a tiki. I mean, that was like the first thing everyone would think when they see this. It seems like some kind of totem or tiki, especially, and that is a very, very signature part of Hawaiian culture right there, are the tiki emblems and whatnot, and it still goes with far from Kalos, so we can get this huge regional climate shift that could represent something more tropical. Speaking of Hawaii, flowers. That's also something that feels very Hawaiian, and remember, there was that teaser. Pokemon marketing director teases flowers for the series' future, and I mean, this almost seems perfect right here. You think tropical, you think beautiful island, you think, the native flora and fauna that exist in Hawaii, especially because, you have leis, you have people greeting you and wearing garlands made of flowers and being festive based of all the natural beauty that Hawaii has to offer. And then you just tease a little word like flowers and it all starts to come together, I believe. And that's where we get back to, the picture that we had with the aquarium. There's a palm tree there. It feels super tropical. And one thing is, when I first saw the picture, I thought, is this going to be Hawaii? Now, this is before more people started saying Hawaii, but I thought I was crazy when I thought that because we have Hoenn. Hoenn is a rather warm-feeling island. We're running around in almost swim trunks. There's a lot of swimmers and stuff, and it seems like a nice volcanic island, so that was the first thing that came to my mind. I'm like, would they really try to represent Hawaii even though we already have a similar island? Looks like they're still going for it. I mean, we can still have this. I don't think it's going to take away from Hoenn or it's going to make this new idea seem less original, because what we have so far, it looks really well done. It looks beautiful, even down to the detail of the cars. And the cars are almost what makes this like super duper confirm that it's Hawaii. So we can look, and if we zoom in, we almost get like a blurred license plate that has an arc shape. You know what else has an arc? A rainbow. You know what else has a rainbow as the freaking license plate? Hawaii. That's huge right there. This is absolutely crazy. I know it's blurred and I know it's like not official, but you can distinctly make out some kind of colored with a more yellowish red hue to it. And it has that arc. It looks like a front license plate for Hawaii, or it looks like some kind of license plate representation that we have here. And then the ultimate one, Hawaii has yellow fire trucks. What do we see? We see a Blastoise and a Cherry Picker in a yellow service vehicle looking thing that's supposed to represent a fire truck. Yellow fire trucks in Pokemon to represent Hawaii. I think, you know what? Game Freak pays attention to detail like this. Like, you can actually feel that whenever they try to represent something, a city, a region, they do really well. They want to try to make it feel as real as possible. They want to make the Pokemon world feel like it has those little details that the real world has, and it goes down to the yellow fire trucks and even potentially just license plate teasers. You know, they're not directly related. The Pokemon world and the real world, our world, is separated. You know, we know that they are different places, but they do have the same regional influences in design, and that shows off pretty well. So that's like the huge turning point of what this can mean. So I think there's a lot of cool things that add up, you know? Each one of these individually almost feels like it could be something that points towards Hawaii, but together, dang, this is looking really, really solid for being Hawaii. I have no objections to that. That seems fun and tropical, and like, this is gonna be a laid back game just like that culture, and I'm gonna love it. So another thing I wanted to point out as well is that there's also the red-crested cardinal, I believe it's what it's called, and that's almost what the Pokemon that was teased looked like. It's going to be either some kind of woodpeckery thing or maybe even the red-crested cardinal, because same color palette, same kind of head shape and whatnot, so that's pretty cool. I don't think it's like too hard, because when we look at it, you can't just say like a bird or a single Pokemon species belongs to that region as a representation in the real world, but still something neat to look at, and it's just another little bit of piece to the puzzle. So we have a lot of this cool stuff coming together for Hawaii. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's really exciting. Like, from what we have, we get a little trailer, and suddenly we can really come up with a lot of how amazing the new Pokemon generation is going to be. So if you guys enjoyed the video, I hope you all have a nice day. Thank you for watching.